What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful time today. I have to say that today has been such a time where it's been a while since I've seen you all. And I have to say that I do apologize, but I've been going around looking into what are we talking about in life in general? What are the things that will really resonate with you all? And I do want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a little bit. And because I've actually am trying to get back into teaching. So I put a slide deck together that I really want to go over with you all. And it's something called zero-based budgeting. And for those of you who are not familiar with zero-based budgeting, it's pretty much just giving every dollar a name and a place to go before it even does all the fun stuff. So this is that particular type of not interview, but type of show today. So by all means, hopefully you all learned something today. And if you didn't learn something today, please share it with somebody else who you think could actually benefit from this. So hopefully you all are having a wonderful time. And let's go ahead on and get to the show so that we can go ahead on and start making this money. Because remember, this podcast is for you as much as it is for me. You learn twice when you teach, right? All right, so let's get to it. Let's give me about 30 seconds so we can go down and hop right on into all of the fun things. If I can find my intro. You're listening to the About That Wallet podcast. We'll be right back after these messages.
Low credit score dragging you down? Score Boost by Smart Credit helps you maximize your score by showing you exactly how much you need to pay off and by which date to gain the most points. Pay less and gain the most points the fastest. And you can start just for $1. Click the link in the bio, save thousands. Don't wait.
Even the best and the brightest this world has to offer have coaches and mentors. Build strong money-making behaviors by applying financial concepts and strategies with Anthony Weaver on the About That Wallet Show. It's time to get off the bench and get in the game. Now, here's your host, Anthony Weaver.
What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful time because we're about to dive right into this thing if I can ever get my slide deck to work like I want it to. But, technology is technology. It is what it is. So hopefully you guys are having a good time. Please let me know where you guys are listening from, because I actually am curious to see what you guys are doing and how we can start diving into this zero-based budgeting, because no matter what walks of life you're part of, no matter what you're going through, we all going to deal with budgeting to some degree. Either it's a spending plan, either it's dealing with taxes, dealing with our lives today. Like, this is a lot going on right now. So, hey, what's going on, Joy? Yes, the money green background. Thanks for listening. Glad you can make it. So, one of the things that I do want to talk about, let's see if I can bring some of this up. So there's going to be some changes as time goes on with the show. I just want to let you guys know that I'm planning on using a different platform come sometime mid-December. So I do have a lot of things I need to test out. Also, come mid-December, I think I'll be I'm going to start adding in my live shows into the stream. It's going to take me some time. So I do plan on taking a break sometime in December to allow me to build my backlog up for next year, because I have a lot of things that I really want to do for you guys next year. And I have a lot of ways that I want to shift the show to kind of add in a little bit more value so that you guys can provide great feedback that will allow me to produce content that you're requesting for. Instead of me just coming up with these different ideas, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you like. So let me know what you guys like so that we can just take things to another level. I do not want to stay at this level. And I know you guys don't want to stay at this level. So let's go ahead on and make this happen. Make this something that's interesting for all of us. So let me go ahead on and share my screen here. And what I want to do is, why doesn't it show my stuff? Oh my gosh. It's not doing what I need to do. Share your screen card process, then you need to restart Chrome. Oh my gosh, guys. All right. I am going to have to restart all of my Chrome in order for this to happen. Unless, this is called technical difficulty. That's why you got to test things out. I have my slide deck. Luckily, I can turn my slide deck into a PDF. Let me see if I can upload it on here in order to make this happen, because I've never tried this before. This has never happened where Chrome is actually having issues and I cannot present things. So let me try something out to make this happen. Yes, Joy, I can't believe it. This is the one time I'm up here thinking that I'm doing something cool and my slides aren't working right. So this is the reason why you do a live show. Test everything out. And it's like Chrome is Chroming today, really. And I'm not sure what's going on with it. It's not allowing me to see how many people are watching right now on this, like on the different platforms. It's not showing me how many people are watching right now on YouTube. So at this point, hey, whoever's listening to the sound of my voice, if you can just throw something in the chat, at least let me know you're here. That'll be a great, I guess you could say confirmation that I know that you're actually here. So let me see if I could try to do slides, maybe. See if I can add slides, upload slides. You guys can't see this, but I can. And this is really irritating. But we want to try to make this work. We are going to try to make this work. Let me see. And the cool thing about learning is that it will allow me to. So it's processing my slides right now. There we go. So this is nice. Okay. So we're going to have to work with this. We are going to make this work. Okay. We are going to make this work. All right. So zero-based budgeting. This is actually going to be interesting. I never did it. And I can use the arrow keys. What? Okay. So I don't like geeking out over here. This is actually pretty cool. So this is my first time actually using like a PDF on this thing. So yeah, bear with me here. If you have any questions, let me know. If y'all could see this clearly, help me be famous. Share with y'all friends. If I can do that. And if you ever just want to call in, you can. The phone number is there, 833-699-2558. It is connected, so you will be on air when you make that phone call. Now, so let's go on and jump right in. You guys know I normally start with the news, but I think we had enough news. It's enough. Y'all here to get a relaxation, learn about the zero-based budgeting. And I'm sure y'all tired of me talking about zero-based budgeting. Anthony, why don't you get back to the zero-based budgeting? When are we going to get to the zero-based budgeting? We'll get there, okay? Just trust me. But one of the things, the reason why I want to bring it up is because the holidays are here. We got the holidays. And a lot of people just don't know what's going on with their finances. And because you don't know what's going on with your finances, this is causing anxiety on, do you have enough? You have that imposter syndrome on, man, am I really showing up my 100% self because I don't know what's going on? with my own finances. So this pretty much is to help you feel confident in your finances. And I want to make sure that you have everything that you need to be successful. So with that being said, we're just going to go ahead on and take a deeper dive into this particular session. So with the zero-based budgeting, we want to start off with the agenda. So I'm gonna go over the objectives of everything that you're supposed to know today. Then we're gonna have like a nice little icebreaker. So I do need your assistance with this one. We also got the main course, which is where we're gonna really do a deeper dive into the zero-based budgeting and what is a budgeting process is using the 50-30-10-10 rule. We're gonna talk about some examples and some informal assessment. And also at the end of this particular session, you actually have a worksheet that you can actually keep for yourself. It'll be a nice little bonus tool for you. All right, so the objectives is that you'll create a budget using the 50-30-10-10 rule. So first off, for those of you who are listening to this on the audio side of the house, where do you want to travel? And for those of you who are watching right now live on YouTube, where do you want to travel? And where do you want to see yourself? Let me see if I can go live on Instagram as well. For those folks who like to see me live there. Let's say zero-based budgeting. Let me know. Where do you want to travel? Because again, I can't see who's there, who's not. So just say something. Okay. So since I don't have anybody saying anything, it's fine. Think about it, like for me, I plan to go to FinCon next year. And one of the things about going to FinCon next year is that it's going to be in Portland. And because it is going to be in Portland, we need to think about like how much it's going to cost and why do I want to go and so forth. So let's see if I can, for those of you who are on Instagram, I want to make sure that you get part of this info to get to see kind of a little bit behind the scenes of what's going on here. So where do you want to travel? Let me know in the comments on where you want to travel. And think about that process while we go through the zero-based budgeting process. Now, the thing is, do you have a budget? Raise your hand if you have a budget or say something inside the chat if you have a budget. If you don't have a budget, it's okay. This is why you're in this particular session today. We're trying to figure out what is it about your budget that you don't have so that you can actually build a solid budget. So a budget is just a financial plan that outlines how you'll spend your money over a specific period of time, such as a month or a year. It helps you track your income and expenses, set financial goals, and make informed decisions about how to allocate your resources. Okay, so the reason why you want to make sure that you know what a budget is, now we can start breaking down what the heck is a zero-based budget. So a zero-based budget is a budget that is based on a method of using every dollar in your income has an assigned purpose. And because it has an assigned purpose, you actually can maximize the full control over your budget. Now, I want you to think about what is it about the zero-based budget that you don't like? Now, what is it about the zero-based budget that you do like so far? Because everything it's already spent and used up. So what is it that you're going to utilize next? So let's take a closer look at the zero-based budget. That's actually a lot better. So we're taking a closer look at the 50-30-10-10 rule. So we have the different categories. Your needs are at 50%, which includes your essential expenses like housing, your utilities, your transportation, and groceries. Now we move over to your wants, which is 30%. You have your non essential expenses like dining out, entertainment, and shopping. Now let's move over to your savings. Your savings is at 10%, which is your funds are set aside for future goals, emergencies, or even investments. Now you also have the debt repayment. Debt repayment is the last 10%. These are the payments that goes towards paying off credit card debt, student loans, or other loans. Now, the reason why you want to make sure that you know the 50-30-10-10 rule is that this, again, is a guide. And there are so many different other, as you could say, budgets that are out there that you can actually take advantage of. This is just one example of many. So let's take a look at the budget for a $1,500 income. Some of you make more, some of you might make less, but this is just a generic one for right now. And what we want to look into is how do we pay ourselves first? Where does this come into in this process? Paying ourselves should be the savings, where it has that 10%. There's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon that talks about paying yourself first. So this is an example budget, and I highly recommend checking it out. So we're just going to do like a quick informal assessment just to kind of make sure you guys are following through. Now, for those of you who are listening on audio, that's fine. We're just going to talk about it. So the first question is, what percentage of your income should be allocated to needs according to the 50-30-10-10 rule? A, 10%, B, 20%, C, 30%, or D, 50%. Now, if you said D, 50%, you are correct. Question number 2. Which of the following is not considered a need? A, rent, B, groceries, C, water, or D, entertainment? So what are your answers? I'm actually looking at see who's here. I don't like to have all this money spent at the end. Hey, sometimes it happens. So Lawrence is saying, I also think that savings/investments is too low at 10%. Wants need to be limited, and needs are subject to wants. Now, Lawrence, you actually are onto something, because this is the beauty of this particular topic, is that personal finance is personal, and that the beauty of having at least some kind of guide or a reference is a great thing to have. Now, if you feel as though your wants are too high, then figure out what are the wants that you're getting rid of, and how can you allocate your money to actually benefit the life that you have. Is it going towards the things that you want? So, Lawrence, you're absolutely correct. If you feel as though for your life that your investments are too low, then let's figure out where else can you cut to make it higher. Some people actually, when they choose to go FI, which is financial independence, they try to increase their savings rate from that 10% all the way up to almost 50% of their income. Now you're asking me, how can they do even 50%? They're cutting back on a lot of other things. Either they're cutting back on their wants, they could be cutting back on their living expenses. Are they living way below their means, meaning that their household is only 25% of their needs, and that they have that extra 25 or something like that percent extra allocated to those other areas in their budget? So you're absolutely correct, Lawrence. So remember, personal finance is personal, and that you can always adjust. This is just a guide and a possible solution to what you need. So let's go on to question number 3. The 10% allocated to savings can be used for A, paying off credit card debt, B, emergency fund, C, investing for retirement, or D, all the above. Now, if you answered D, you are correct. Because the beauty of having this at 10%, you can utilize that 10% for whatever you need on here. Because remember, we did the 10-10. So it can be part of your emergency fund, which is part of your savings, your investment for retirement, which is also could be for your savings, and paying off credit card debt, which is the other side of that 10%. So this is something that you can actually look forward to. Now, this is the last question that is here for this presentation, which is the 50-30-10-10 rule is A, restrict financial law, B, credit score, C, one size fits all solution, or D, a starting point for budgeting. Now, if you selected D, you are correct. So I want you to think back, how did you think you did just on those questions? Was this particular presentation helpful to you? Because this 50-30-10-10 rule is just a guide, just a reference point, just to kind of get you started for those of you who do not have a budget in place right now. Now, there's many different budgets that are out there that you can also try. But again, I'm just talking about the zero-based budget utilizing the 50-30-10-10 rule. So to wrap it up, I want to give you all some tips and tricks that you can also try. One is that you can try tracking your expenses diligently. So this was a great way to take a snapshot of what's going on in your finances. It's a great way to kind of take a look at what is going on in your day-to-day life. Are you spending more things on your needs or your wants? What can you really cut back on? So this is a great way to check that. Secondly, you can review and adjust your budget regularly. I think this should be mandatory that you review and adjust your budget regularly. Just like Lawrence said earlier, he felt as though the investment should be higher than 10%. Some of you only have, 2% really to invest in or to kind of play around with, so you don't feel like a complete loss when you lose your money and your finances. So the beautiful thing about having these options in such a budget is that it provides you with goals that you need. You can also try and automate savings. This will actually help you to stay on track with what you need. Or you can try using budgeting apps and tools. So remember, personal finance is personal, so is your budget and your spending plan. I feel as though this has been such a great opportunity to kind of take a moment to really sit down and listen and look at what is going on in your lives and with your family. And remember, you want to focus on your morals and what's good for your family. So If there's any questions, please let me know. I think this will be a good option and opportunity to take a moment to reflect on how you're actually spending money for the holidays and for gifts throughout the year, whether it's for yourself, for your spouse, for a loved one. What are you doing with your finances at the end of the day? So I do want to make sure you guys are doing well. And I'm always looking to hear about you guys stay, make sure you guys are doing well. So just let me know how you guys are doing. And I wish you all the best. I know this is a short one today, but I just want to make sure that you guys get what you need when you need it so that you can be successful in what you want to do in your life. With that being said, I just want to thank you all. Y'all have a good night. I'm out. Peace. And get my outro.